what are your 3 tips for choosing color?
Always number one for picking the number one choice for picking color would be what the forage species is. Are those fish eating crawfish? Are they eating bluegill? Are they eating shad? That's always number one. Number two is always watercolor. If the I typically pick my baits if it's darker water, I like darker colors, and lighter water, vice versa, lighter colors. And last would be weather, because the deal is a green pumpkin may be the best choice when it's sunny and slick, but on the day that it's cloudy and rainy, black and blue may be a better choice.
Green pumpkin when the water's clear. Green pumpkin when the water's medium, and black and blue when it's dirty. So you really only need two colors. The only exception is roboworms. When I get into a roboworm, it's going to be several different colors, whether it's a red crawler, a morning dawn, some sort of a green, Aaron's Magic. That's the only one I'll change things up. When it comes to Yamamoto, there's only two colors, green pumpkin, black and blue, just a straight black with a blue flake. That's all you need. Just keep it simple. You don't need all the different colors out there. Believe me, there's plenty of colors that work amazing, and if you like something, use it. It comes down to confidence.
Yep.
If you have confidence in it, that's what you're going to catch the fish on.
Absolutely.
Within reason. You just keep it simple and go with the greens or the blacks and the natural colors, you're going to catch them.
Perfect. Now tell us your top 3 tips for color.
Colors. Now see, traveling all over the country, I feel like it's something that we constantly are trying to get an advantage and trying to throw something that maybe our other competitors are not. And I try to keep it very simple. I really do. I have a few of my little sneaky colors that I don't talk a whole lot about, but for the most part, I'm really on 3. Soft plastic colors. I'm blacks. I'm black blue, black sapphire. I'm either black blue, black blue sapphire, green pumpkin, and then I throw something with a little flake in it, like a Sooner Run or a watermelon red. Those are the majority of my 3. Another color that Gene LaRue makes is called Minnesota Flash. For clear water, it's a real dark watermelon with a little blue tint in it. Those are pretty much the 4 that I'm going to throw the majority of the time. If they're really keyed on something, I might mess around with some dye, but those are those 4 that I'm definitely going to utilize the majority of the time. You can throw other colors, you can throw something different, but at the end of the day, if you find the fish, and finding the fish is more important sometimes than catching, because once you go back there in the tournament, using those colors, they're probably going to bite it. But if they're eating on a bluegill or something, you can adjust it according.
I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. What bait colors for me, whether it's hard baits, jigs, soft baits, I carry 5 or 6 colors, and I make it work all across the country. That for me, I feel like action is most important. Size and profile is extremely important. Color matters. And I've seen times where I made a color change and I started catching a lot more fish or stopped getting short strikes and got more fish to commit to the bait. So color does matter. Don't think that it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you don't have to count the flakes in your worm. You don't, the general hue, the general color definitely can matter. But, as long as you carry some greens, some browns, some black and blue, you're going to have the bases covered with that kind of stuff.
Yep. And picking colors for me is really about water clarity.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that because you have dirty water, that you want to throw these great big bright colors, white, chartreuse. And we do that with spinner baits and chatterbaits a lot because you're giving something that has a lot of vibration, and so it's all meshing together. But if you're flipping a jig, like I talked about earlier, and you've got that kind of milky, dirty water, you actually need something that's going to contrast against that. And then I'm going to throw a lot of black and blue, black and purple, those kind of colors that are going to contrast well with that lighter color water. And as you get into the cleaner water, you want your green pumpkins, watermelons, things that are going to blend and look more natural.
Sure. Thank you very much, Brandon.
Okay, color. You guys got to remember we're imitating 3 things 99% of the time: shad, bluegills, and crawdads. So always think about that when you're choosing colors. I don't care if a bass is in South Carolina, California, Texas, Minnesota. Those are the 3 things that a bass eats 90% of the time. So, really you can give me green pumpkin and black and blue, and I could compete out here day in, day out. Yes, obviously there's some other hues off both of those that become important, but for me, the lighter, the clearer the water, the more transparent I want the bait to be. The darker, the muddier the water, the more solid the color I want it to be.
How do you choose lure color?
How do I choose lure color? Oh, wow. It's based on water color, water temperature, season, but for the most part, I mean, if you look at all my boxes of Berkeley baits, I simplify. I'm a 6 to 10 color guy. So as far as water color, how does the watercolor determine, choosing a color? Well, there's one rule of thumb I'll give you. There is no right and there is no wrong. Now, I shouldn't say there is no right, but there is no wrong color. So there's a lot of times even fishing really muddy water where I catch them on green pumpkin, which blends with the water more than you say a black and blue, which would be a very commonly used color. But you get in high pressure, post front, bluebird skies where that black and blue is just too bold, where you go to a green pumpkin. So I can't tell you which color for which situation because there's no wrong color for any situation. It's just a matter of going through maybe trying a few different colors in the situation you're in.
Thank you. Those are great tips. Hey everybody, Carrie May with BassResource.com. Come visit us.